Hello, my name's Mandy and this is my channel Make It Sew. So today's my weekly sewing chat makes and plans video and we're on week 12. So how is everybody? It's been a busy week again, quite tiring at times, but I have been up to some sewing and also an exciting event that I attended. So when I last spoke to you, I did my video and then I was off to have a lovely facial, and they do a shoulder and neck massage, which is great for us sewers because we always tend to do this, and I am very guilty of leaning forward as well. So I do get quite stiff in my shoulders. So that was a lovely treat. And that was ready for me to then get up very early on Thursday morning and go to the Stitch Festival. So unfortunately I could only make it one day because of work commitments, and I said to my friend Claire, do you fancy going on the Thursday, because I've heard it's a lot quieter. So we did, and I met Claire at Stratford, and it's a big shopping centre in the UK near London. I can park there for, I think it was about £11 for the day, and then we could get a train, I think it was, Claire correct me, or was it a tube, I can't remember, but we got that into another tube station which I cannot remember. I do rely on Claire quite a lot to navigate London, as she used to work there, so she knows it a lot better than I do. So I just follow her around and trust everything she says, and she always gets us to where we need to go. So we did a few stops and then we got to the Business Design Centre, which is off the Angel tube station in Islington. So we got there about 10:30. We had standard tickets, so we did have to join the queue. It started at 10, so we were there 10:30. And it didn't take very long to get in, and we already started talking to other people in the queue, so that was really nice. And when we got in there, we had the plan of going upstairs to the mezzanine floor first, because last year when we went, we did the bottom tier first, and by the time we got up there it was so cramped and busy, you were literally sort of rubbing shoulders with everybody, that we thought if we tried going up there first it might be a bit quieter, and it was. So that is something I think we'd do each time. So the first thing we were planning to do was I wanted to go and see Emma from Studio 77 and get some purple bag hardware I knew she was having on her stall. And Claire wanted to, she told me that she had decided to join Stash Hub, and they just happened to be right next door to Emma. So Yvette and Doug were there, and I said to Claire, I'm going to leave you to sign up, and while she was doing that I would have a look at Emma's stall and look at the bag hardware. So that's what we did, and I think Claire was the first person to sign up at the show, so she's been squirreling away since and logging it and using it very well compared to me, and that did then inspire me to update my Stash Hub with some of my books, which is quite easy to do. So I will show you what I bought in a minute. But after seeing them, we walked around the rest of the floor. I bought a few more little bits and bobs, and then we went downstairs and walked around, had some lunch which we'd purchased from Marks and Spencer's on the way. And there was a lot more seating this year, so we could sit down in a quiet area, which was lovely. And then we walked around some more, and Claire purchased some bits, and so did I, which I will show you in a bit. And we also bashed into Sam, Sparkle with Sam, Rachael from the French Seams, Katherine from Soverton Makery and her mum, and a few other people. I'll list them all below so I don't forget anybody. And I also had someone stop me, which was really nice. If I've got your name wrong, I am so rubbish with names and I'm so sorry, but I think your name was Linda, and you apologised for stopping me, and to be honest, you were the only person that did, so I did feel quite special then, and it was lovely to see you, and thank you for saying hello. I'm really rubbish with names, so I do apologise if I've got it wrong, but it was lovely to meet you. So after that, I think we then went back to where Katherine and everyone were, because I hadn't seen Katherine initially, and then it was almost time to go as we were only going for the day. So we headed off out, got the tube back to Stratford and had a lovely meal at Wagamama's. So of course I'll put a picture because I do like showing pictures of my food. So that was a really lovely day. The only thing was, because it's 2 hours drive there and 2 hours drive back, and I don't think I was recovered totally from the Plymouth Frocktails driving. So Friday I literally just sat on the sofa watching telly because I felt so exhausted. I just didn't get to do any sewing or anything, and I think I just needed it. And I knew that I was working all day Saturday and Sunday after being off for 12 days from work. I knew that would be physically demanding, and so Monday was pretty much similar. Although I did finally get back into my sewing room on Monday and I attended a virtual sewing room session. I didn't feel that chatty, so I hope I didn't come across as very quiet, but I was still tired from the weekend of work. And then I had a chat with Sam and also cut out a few bits. So it was back to Tuesday yesterday where I actually sewed up what I'm wearing, so I can tell you what I made, and that was my Donny shirt. Now I think if I'd had more time in the sewing room, this has actually got yellow in it, and I would have used this as my Sew Yellow for Endo entry, but unfortunately I never got round to doing it, and I did think that my Yvette top that I was going to enter had more of a greeny colour than yellow, so I didn't enter, and the time came round so quickly I wasn't prepared at all, so I do apologise, Jess, for that. So anyway, I made my Donny shirt. Now I don't know what happened. I think what happened, or what went wrong, I normally lay it out on my cutting table, which is next to my sewing table, and pin it all and then come back to my sewing table. But I did it while I was sitting, and I somehow managed, when I was putting the facing on, to twist this shoulder piece round. So when I went to turn it inside out, of course it wouldn't go. So I had to, after clipping and everything, I had to unpick it all again and then correct it by laying it out properly and getting it all done. I do think I love this fabric, but I think it does not sort of like highlight the detail as much as if it was a plain fabric, because I do like how the collar goes on the Donny shirt. I always add 2 inches to the length. I think I did a size XL. I'll put it on the screen if I've got it wrong, but this fabric I actually got from the Stitch Festival last year, and it was when Rachael from the French Seams had said that she was going back to a store where she'd got some fabric, and I just ran along with her and said, oh, let me come, and I found this, but I could only justify buying a metre at the time. So I managed to get the Donny shirt out of a metre of fabric because it was quite wide, which was good, but it's very lightweight fabric, and I did struggle cutting it out a bit, which is why I think it's slightly more open at this point than it was in my last version. But I am tempted to just pin that together and join it in a little seam just to close that up a bit more, but it's not bad. I mean, what I wear underneath you can't really see, so I don't think it's a problem if I didn't do it. But I'm so glad I've finally made this material up, because I can tick that off on my stash hub, and that's 1 metre less in my stash, which doesn't make a massive difference, but it all helps. So I'm really chuffed with it, and I will put some pictures in on the screen so you can see it from full view, because at the moment I'm obviously hunched up in my chair, so you can't really see the whole shirt, but I'm really happy with it. So finally got to make something I'd been wanting to do for ages. As for any other makes, I haven't actually had time, but as you can imagine, I have been out of the house quite a bit, so I didn't really get much time to sew. I did cut out my toaster sweater using the remnants of the French terry from the Yvette top that I made, but unfortunately I didn't have enough to cut out the front and back bodice, so I had to use the black sweatshirting I'd bought to go with it. And I've got to the point now where I'm not sure I'm going to have enough width-wise to cut 2 raglan sleeves. So I have contacted Andrea today to see if she's got any more. Otherwise, I'm going to hack it, and I will show you that next week. So what has come into my sewing room? So I think I was very good at the Stitch Festival. I was actually looking for a specific type of fabric, and I think that's what stopped me buying too much fabric. I was looking for sweatshirting because I mentioned I was hoping to get hold of the CC joggers while I was at the show, and also I wanted to buy the Drew at another point. But I'll tell you about that in a minute because I was very lucky to be gifted that one. So I was looking around for sweatshirting. Of course, there's so many things because it's now spring and summer makes that people are making, so there wasn't much sweatshirting about. I did notice some on the Purple Stitches stall, but unfortunately it wasn't the colour I was looking for because I'm hoping to do a bodice in one print and then use plain for the rest, like Sam has, because I really love her set she's done. So for Mother's Day, I've ordered something my husband was happy to buy me for Mother's Day, which is in the UK on Sunday. So I can hopefully show you that next week and you'll see what I'm hoping to do. So anyway, are you ready? So the first stall, like I said, I went to was Studio 77. And this had been in one of her subscription boxes. But I really loved this webbing, and it's purple, of course, and it says handmade on it. I'm not sure how much there is in this, but I think it's 2 meters. So that should be lovely for a bag in the near future. And I also got any purple hardware she had, basically. So the first thing was these lovely handmade labels, the metal ones. So you got 2 of them in the bag, so I bought those. And then there was a set of hardware where you got a triangular D-ring. You got 2 of those for 2.5 centimetre webbing. You got the swivel clasps as well. And then you got something I haven't used before, some tassel ends. So that'll be an interesting one for me to discover. So I got those, and also I got some stickers because I love a sticker. So I got this one that says "So Good." Sorry if that's my hand. And these are all in a little pack. I've already got some of these scissors on my sewing machine, but I thought these might be good for one of my toolboxes I take to sewing socials. And then this one says, "I'm not one to brag, but I only used the unpicker once today." That is very much me. So that's that one. And then the last one that was in it, I hope this doesn't shine too much on the screen, but it says "Sew Something Magical Today." And it's this lovely rainbow one. So I got those. So they were my purchases from Studio 77. No fabric yet, are you impressed? And then I came across, I think this was, I can't remember what store actually. I bought one of these last year, and it's a buttonhole cutter, and I absolutely loved it. But unfortunately, silly me, I used it on some paper one day and it's blunted it. So I thought I'd replace that with that one because they are really handy for buttonhole cutting. And also I use these in when you're doing the zipped or zipper pockets and you have to draw the lines and you have to cut in the middle. I use this just to start it off, so that's really good. I also got from the same stall, bit practical again, some more Wonder Tape for zips because I find that really is handy rather than pinning the zip in place, putting this on and then it washes away. And then, she says, and then I did the Bornella Fabrics label magic, what was it, label lucky dip, and I got this one which says Flower Power on it. So I was thinking of actually putting that on something. I'm trying to think what it was, some old make that I've got with flowers all over it, and when I remember, oh yes, my Andy's jacket, that's right. So I thought that would be nice to go in there. I saw Friday Pattern Company because I'll put pictures in here as I'm talking, but I wore my Benina Patina and I didn't even think about it rhyming till Katherine from Soverton Makery said about it. So yes, I have my Benina Patina on, and I went and saw, I think her name's Chelsea from Friday Pattern Company, and she really liked it, and I bought only one thing from her, and that was this sticker, which is an unpicker because I love these that feature in her patterns, and again, it is my best friend at times, or sometimes I'm not happy with it, but I do use it quite a bit. And I also bought a pattern, and it was the CC joggers, and that's from Tilly and the Buttons. And when you purchase this, they also gave you a free sticker or label to choose from. So I bought this one that says Secret Pajama Squad, and I thought that is quite good for something in the near future. Probably some more pyjamas know me, so I like that one. And I forgot to mention the main reason I went to see Emma from Studio 77 was because of these rulers, and I'm hoping you'll see them without me taking it out of the wrapper because it's quite rustly. But these are for marking where you need to put your rivets and things on webbing. So you've got one that is for a 2.5 centimetre webbing, and it shows you where to put the marks, and also for the bigger webbings as well, and they've all different little marks on there, and I thought that would make life a lot easier, and that's why it's called centimetre and inches rivet ruler. But that was why I wanted to rush and see her, because I was worried, as they were on first come first served, that they would go otherwise. So I think I was the first one to get that as well, as Clare with Stash Hub. Then we still on the mezzanine floor. I got this from Ethel and Joan. So it's this lovely pin, and I actually put it on my dungarees because I wore my Heyday dungarees over my Bonina Patina, and I quite like that pin. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any buttons because I'm not planned anything that needs buttons. I can't sort of think, oh, I'll get them to make this with, so I didn't. The last thing I bought was some fabric. I only bought one piece of fabric, so bit disappointed with this one, and I'll show you it. Now the store was called, I think it was Horny Fabrics, that's how it's spelled, and I'll put it on the screen. So whether it was Horny or Hornay, we don't know, but they were doing remnants. And as soon as we walked past, I saw some penguin jersey, and I said to my friend Claire, you've got to get that to make a t-shirt. It was about £6, so it was really cheap. And then while I was looking, I found some, and it said on it 2 meters of this jersey, which is this black and white striped, and it feels really nice and soft, which is why I bought it. But it said 2 meters, £9. So you can see I haven't washed it yet. But when I got home, I found there was some bits cut out of it. So if I can show you on the screen, I'm hoping I can show you. So if I hold it up, you've got this big old chunk out of here, first of all, and then on the other end you've got this chunk cut out. Can you see it? But I think because it's 2 meters, I'm hopefully still going to manage to get a nice t-shirt out of that, because that's what I wanted it for. And for £9, I'm hoping that I haven't wasted my money, because £9 isn't a lot, I know, but you want the fabric to be usable, don't you? So that's what I got fabric wise. And then I bashed into Rachael, like I was saying, I bashed into them and sat talking with them for a bit. And Rachael gifted me this lovely bee, and she gifted Clare as well, which was really sweet of her. So they're really cute, and that will find its way on my wall somewhere. And then Katherine had got these zip pulls from Studio 77, and she thought of me with this one, and I'm hoping you can see it on the screen. But it's a little coffee cup, and it says coffee on it, and she knows I love my coffee. And I'm just going to let you know that I'm actually been told to cut down caffeine, which was quite a shock. I don't drink loads, but obviously I do enjoy my coffees. So at the moment I'm at 1 teaspoon of coffee, or caffeinated coffee, a day. So I'm gradually taking it down so that I don't get a bad headache, and I'll let you know how I get on when I actually don't have any. But I'm sticking to decaf tea the rest of the day, and I have found I'm a bit tired, but it's not as bad as I thought. So fingers crossed I'll be out of caffeine by the middle of April. We'll see, and I'll let you know. But I really love that zip pull. Thank you, Katherine, and thank you, Rachael, for the bee. So other than that, that was it for the Stitch Festival. So Michelle, the menopausal sewer, knew I was looking to buy the CC joggers and also the Drew top at some point, but I thought I'd try the joggers first, and she said, I will send you it. So I got some happy mail yesterday, and what had happened was Michelle had already purchased the Drew pattern, and then her husband went and bought her it as well. So she didn't realise until she went looking for it that she had two. So in other words, she can make it too, and I might speak to her about doing a collaboration, but we will see. So I got the Drew pattern as well now. So I like this version, which is the long hip length version, and I'm hoping to do a colour blocking just like Sam. And then bless her heart, she also sent me some other things as well, and it really made me smile when I opened this, so thank you, Michelle. And it's a things to do book, so it gives you little priority ticks, and I just think I need to sort myself out a bit better, because sometimes I'll come in here and just get overwhelmed and not know what I'm meant to be doing, and then I forget and get distracted by making something totally different to what I should be. So that will be really helpful. And then she sent me this fabric and saying that obviously it's purple, she knows I love it, but she said this would be great for inside some bags you're making. But I actually love this. It's 1 metre long and it's very wide, but I thought I could make something where it's on the outside as well. So that might even be something for my gym bag maybe, we will see. But thank you so much, Michelle, I love that. And then the only other thing that came in was some more fabric, of course, and this was something I've already had before and used up, so not much left. I tried to make a garment bag years ago, I won't say who by, and it just didn't go to plan. The instructions didn't really make it clear where the zip was meant to be or anything, so I'd put it in my whips box. But since then I have actually used the fabric up for my scrap puff that I made, and also a Costa tote bag. But it's this one, and I absolutely love this vintage type material. It's almost like the one I've got a lot of on my desk, which is the Simplicity one. I'm not sure who makes this one, but I got this off a lady on Facebook, and it only cost me £4 for just over 1 metre. So that was a real bargain, that one, and more bags will be made. And that was it. So that's my purchases. What about my plans for this week? Well, I'm going to write them in that book once I've done this video, so I don't have a little detour somewhere. I've definitely got to finish my So Frugal makes, because I didn't actually end up wearing it to the Frock Tales event like I planned. And again, I will go into more detail about that when I release my or reveal my make. It's only next Monday, the 31st of March, so I've got to get cracking with that. I've got work tomorrow, and I'm overnight on Saturday into Mother's Day on Sunday, so I will sleep a bit Sunday. I've also got a virtual sewing room, so I can get some sewing done then. So I'll finish that, and I also want to start making some dresses for the weather we're starting to get, as I'm hoping that it doesn't keep doing what it has been this week, where one day it's bright sunshine and quite warm, like at the Stitch Festival. I think it was 20 degrees, something crazy like that, and it was just like a summer's day. And then yesterday or this morning my husband had to de-ice the car, so you can never tell what it's doing at the moment. But I would like to make a dress, and I'm thinking of the penny dress again, as I saw Katherine had made one, and I've been meaning to make another one as I really love that pattern, so that could be it, you'll see. And also the Styla Taos collaboration, I really need to get cracking with that, so leave the dress for a bit and then come back to that. But I really need to crack on with those two things, the Frugal project and the Styla Taos. So that is my plans for the week. What are you up to? Let me know in the comments below. I want to thank everyone who has liked, subscribed and commented on my last videos. I really love reading all your comments, so if you would like to tell me what you're up to, let me know. And if you can find any time to sew this week, make it so. Bye for now.